Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach, and today I am driving a 2016 Kia Soul Plus. Up front is a 2.0 liter inline 4, and down below is a 6-speed automatic transmission. Now, I'm super excited to be driving this Kia Soul for one main reason. This vehicle only has 61,000 miles on it. However, it has a brand new engine. It was replaced under warranty, and we'll get into that here in a second. But we're going to talk about, is the Kia Soul reliable, and should you be scared to purchase one of these on the used market? But if you'd like to submit your own vehicle and have it reviewed here on the channel, you can head on over to my website, zackpradel.com/submit. It's a quick and easy submission form. It takes under a minute to fill out, and I come out to you. And if you'd like to see all my videos weeks or sometimes months in advance, you can head on over to my Patreon for only $5 a month. But let's get back to that 2-liter inline 4. Well, that was one of the optional engines here for the Kia Soul. You could either get a 1.6 liter or the 2-liter inline 4. This makes a little bit more power. It's a little bit nicer of an engine, a little bit smoother and things like that. This is certainly the one that you want in terms of daily driving. However, it has its issues. So let's talk about it. At around the 60,000 mile mark, this engine blew up. Well, it did this.
Just a little bit. That's good. That's good. All right, something's really wrong with my car. Yeah, gonna have this get fixed. So just wanted to, show you guys some. Okay.
Yeah, not what you want to hear out of your automobile. And so this is a pretty known issue for the Kia Soul. For the 2-liter engines, the piston rings were sometimes mismanufactured, didn't fit properly, and allowed for oil to be burnt while driving. Now, this isn't a huge issue. I've driven many cars that burn oil, but if you don't catch it and don't keep topping it off, your engine will go kaput and do that. Luckily, Kia knows about this issue, so they'll cover it under warranty. Sometimes. The owner of this vehicle had to try 3 separate times to get Kia to put a new engine into it. They first denied it because he hadn't updated the ECU. The ECU apparently has some big update, and since his car hadn't been updated, they didn't accept it. They also might not accept it because if you don't have solid oil change records, that you've stayed up to date on it, or they might not change the engine if it doesn't consume within their target consumption zone. So Kia will try to not give you a new engine, but the owner was able to build himself a case, and for almost no cost to him, he was able to get a fresh 0-mile engine put into this. So while the chassis has 61,500 miles, the engine has about 1,000 miles on it now. The reason I say almost zero, it would have been completely free. The owner did opt to have some of the hoses updated and refreshed, some of the small things, belts and whatnot fixed, which came out to be about $1,000 out of his pocket. But he wanted this car to last a long time, and so he put that extra $1,000 in as somewhat of insurance that it wouldn't have to be back on the shop anytime soon. Paired to it is a 6-speed automatic transmission. It works fine, no complaints, and last but not least, the Kia Soul is front-wheel drive. How does it feel to drive the Kia Soul? Well, this is a spring chicken. This vehicle has had a heart transplant. It feels like it could run a marathon. That's because it's new. You don't realize the wear and tear that an engine goes through in 60,000 miles, although minimal in the grand scheme when compared back to back. This is kind of exciting again. It has a new heart, a new spirit. It's a kid again, and I like that. Visibility is good, ride quality is okay, but to be expected out of a Kia Soul. And honestly, like, getting in and out of the Kia Soul is one of the easiest, best parts of it. It's very simple. Anyone, any age can drive this car, of course, with a legal driver's license. It's really good, and that is what I really, really like. Now, we will talk about reliability more towards the final thoughts, but let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I have 4 gauges. Off to the left is the tachometer. In the center is the speedometer, along with a digital gauge giving me my average MPH and odometer and whatnot. And then off to the right, we have coolant temperature and fuel. On the steering wheel, we do get volume off to the left, as well as skip track and mode. And our phone options to the bottom bottom left. And off to the right, we have our adaptive cruise. We also have our trip reset and our steering modes for sport, comfort, and normal. Off to the left, we do have a speaker, as well as our gauge dimmer switch, traction control off, and our lighting on and off. You could set it to mood or music. Love to see that. And moving on to the door, we do have power mirrors, power locks, and power windows. Moving into the center, we get 2 climate control vents with the hazard switch. Our infotainment system, this does have a backup camera, which was very nice for 2016. It's also a touchscreen, navigation, wired Apple CarPlay, things of that nature. Really, really nice to see all of that. And then we have our climate controls down below. Single zone, however, temperature in the center, fan speed off the left, and where to send it all around. We have our active eco button, which is for our eco driving mode. And then we have USB-A, aux input, and 2 12-volt outlets. Moving into the center, we do get the shifter, bright and proud right in the middle. Very, very easy to use. I like the look of it, and I like the feeling of it. And then we do get cup holders, so we will do a big friggin' bottle test here in the Kia Soul Plus, and unfortunately it fails, but we knew that coming into it. Then we do get the handbrake and center console, and then the seats. The seats are cloth, however, they do have a fun design to them, and they have been pretty comfortable during my time with the car. I don't have really any complaints. They work well, they hold me within the vehicle. However, we do have back seats, so let's go do a back seat review. All right, getting in the back of the Kia Soul Plus, and as you can see, plenty of knee room. I'm 5'11", not a small guy. My knees are not hitting the seat in front of me. I'm sure I can make them hit the seat in front of me, but they don't necessarily have to. We don't get any rear climate vents. I would have loved to have seen that, but we don't get that. Otherwise, you know, the same material carries on back here. We have plenty of headroom. You know, I'm, again, 5'11", I fit back here really, really well. That is one of the huge benefits of the Kia Soul. You know, I always say this, their marketing was pretty funny because they always used hamsters, but these are built for people really, really well. You're going to be able to fit 4 people in this car without much struggle. And you can't really say that about a Yaris or even some Honda Civics and things like that. So this is definitely nice to see, and it's a nice place to be. We do get a center console that folds down, 2 cup holders found in there. Otherwise, a very basic back seat, but that's what it is. Let's hop now into the back, and we'll take a look at the trunk. Coming around the back, quick and easy latch down here, and there you go. Plenty of space. You do get this little privacy cover. Very, very nice to see that. We can come down here. We have some added storage and whatnot. But again, the thing that's nice is that it's up off the ground. You don't have to put stuff down into it, and you can load stuff straight in. So you don't have to do all this awkward positioning to get stuff into the hatch of the Kia Soul. Really, really like that. Again, like the back seats, very much designed for people. Handle here to pull it right back down. And there you go. That's the rear cargo space of a Kia Soul from 2016. Now we gotta talk about the looks. I've always liked this generation of Kia Soul. I've always liked the Kia Soul in general. I think the first gens are a little ugly, but since then, I think Kia's done a pretty good job of keeping them relatively attractive. And the Kia Soul Plus gets a minor body kit and things like that. Looking this vehicle up and down, it does look like a little bit more sporty, and it definitely fits the hamsters that drive it. With all of that being said, however, let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think driving another Kia Soul Plus? Well, I like this car a lot. I don't think I would be driving it again if I didn't like it. However, we have to talk about reliability. That's why you're here, and that's why I'm here. This vehicle has had its engine replaced. And so you would think immediately that in my head, I would say, oh, these are unreliable and you shouldn't buy one. However, I don't think it's all bad. First of all, when it does work, it's a charming little hatchback. And yes, the motor going out is rather catastrophic. I'm not downplaying that. That is a big, big, huge, humongous issue. But it doesn't affect all of them. Now, the 1.6 liter has its own issues, but it doesn't affect all of them. And the issue has been pretty much fixed. This vehicle, with its new engine, now has a proper set of piston rings. And that shouldn't happen again in another 60,000 miles. It shouldn't consume oil like it was the first 60,000 miles. Kia has, for all intents and purposes, made it right. And so when people say, hey, I'm getting a Kia Soul, it doesn't trigger a giant red flag. Maybe. Yeah, it's not quite what I would want in terms of storyline or whatnot, but it was fixed for pretty much free. And I think it's just one of those things where I can let bygones be bygones. There are certain brands and certain cars out there that I can tell you do not buy because they have repetitive issues, and even the quote-unquote fix for the issue doesn't really fix the issue. Or if it had massive electrical issues that were unpredictable, then yeah, I would say, I wouldn't do it. But this vehicle, also with the 6.2 liter V8 from GM, they've been having catastrophic engine failure recently. There's a way to check for it and make sure it doesn't happen before it happens. And if it does look like it's going to happen, they will replace the motor. So to me, it's not a non-issue. I don't want to downplay it. I don't want people to say, oh, he doesn't think a motor blowing up is a bad issue. It is, 100%. But once it's fixed, it seems fine. It's not like it's eating transmissions every 10,000 miles. It's not like the hybrid system will shut the vehicle down. Yes, the engine did shut the vehicle down and it was gone at the shop for about 3 months, which is not good. But again, getting the engine fixed has removed the tumor, and now this car can live a happy, respectful life with its new engine and pretty much worry-free. The bad parts are gone. The monsters are gone. And so this car can get back to doing what it does flippin' well. Drive as a daily driver. I love Kia Souls. They're easy to get into. They're easy to drive for 99% of people, which 99% of people don't care about cars. Not everyone on the road is a car enthusiast. I think that's what people don't understand about EVs. That's what car enthusiasts don't understand as EVs. Yes, I love cars. I don't want an EV, but I understand that EVs are perfect for a majority of people that don't drive more than 100 miles a day. The Kia Soul is great for people that don't go to the track on the weekends, for people that don't try to rip up a canyon on the way home from work or go out on spirited drives, for people that don't binge watch Initial D and Top Gear UK. This is a wonderful car. And while the engine blowing up is a big blip on the radar, it's a blip in the past. So, if you have a Kia Soul or you're looking to get a Kia Soul, take it to the dealer. Ask about it. Say, hey, does this show signs of wear? Does this show signs of a bad engine? Do I have the updated ECU tune? Do I have the correct insurance or qualifications to have this engine replaced if I need it to be? Those are the questions that you need to ask. And if they all come up green, I think it's still a worthy car. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to Tom for letting me borrow his Kia Soul and talk to you today about Kia Soul reliability. He's been absolutely wonderful to work with. I appreciate him reaching out, and I have a feeling that it won't be the last time. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.